Having an emotion? Calm down. Emotions are not as bad as what people think sometimes. In fact, they're necessary. Today, we're going to dive into the other side of emotions. Hello, hello, hello. It is such an honor that you are listening to the Manifest on Purpose show. I am your host, Kimbaley. I thank you so much for stopping by, listening to this podcast. I thank you for sharing this with everyone that you're close to. And I thank you for subscribing here and on the website at Kimbaley, Kimbaley, the God in me loves the God in you. Today, we're going to talk about emotions. Do you have your emotions in check? We're going to jump into that today, but before we do, we have to have our Astro-Numerology forecast for the day, courtesy of Astro-Numerologist LLoyd Strayhorn and the Star 8 mobile numerology app. It is Wednesday, July the 10th. The sun is in Cancer. The moon is in Virgo. It's a 6 universal month, a 8 universal week, a 7 universal day. Whatever you start, it's like planting a seed to what's to come in the days ahead. However, the twist in the story is that attention to detail, along with an inquiring mind that wants to know, is added to the equation. When taking both factors into consideration, you are likely to set the stage for coming up with unique and innovative ideas. Cancer, Pisces, and those born on the 2nd, 7th, 11th, 16th, 20th, 25th, and 29th of the month are the ones likely to be out front in this regard. Once again, that is the Astro-Numerology forecast for today, courtesy of Astro-Numerologist LLoyd Strayhorn and the Star 8 Numerology app. You can get your forecast every day on the Star 8 mobile app. Go to astar8.com where you can download it there. It is available on Google Play and the App Store, and also at linktree/numbers in you. In each relationship, no matter if it's a best friend, an intimate partner, a business partner, a family member, each partner has their own individual and unique ways of doing things. That can lead to disagreements, but there's a solution for this age-old problem. Your numerology compatibility report. This is the report that you compare yourself in the relationship with your partner. It will show what your needs are, what things that partner should know about you, and it will also show you what you need to know about that partner. When you know better, you do better. This can help you squash some of the confusions and get all of your relationships in balance. You can get that compatibility report or your personal report or your yearly forecast at Kimbaley, KIMBALEY.com. Now let's get into the show. I was clinging on to the chair so tightly that my knuckles were white, and now and then a little bead of sweat would roll down and join the rest of the pool of sweat on the floor. I thought positively, though. I still have time to leave the building altogether. That was a fleeting thought, because it fled as soon as I heard my name called. I slowly made my feet move, and at that moment, I knew that I was afraid because I felt butterflies in my stomach. Somehow, I mustered up enough strength to make it to the lectern to give my very first speech in public. The speech was only 3 to 5 minutes. I knew all I had to do is what I do best: give them a story. The speech was entitled, "My Dear Aunt Sally." I was shaking in my boots. Dear Aunt Sally was determined to make the world's greatest writer of me. She did help me immensely on my homework. After a day that she was disgusted by my homework assignment, you should have seen it. Some of it was in print, some of it was in cursive, and some of it you couldn't tell what it was. When she saw that, she made me tighten up on my homework and help make me the writer that I needed to be at that time. As I told this story in front of an audience for the first time, the excitement rose in me. Now, I wasn't feeling like I was afraid or in fear. I felt excited and motivated. Before I knew it, they were telling me it was time to get off the stage. And at that point, I received a standing ovation. I couldn't believe it. Just moments before, it seemed that my emotions were keeping me from doing what I knew I had to do. There was a popular public speaker that was once asked the question, "How did you get over your fear?" This speaker was transparent. The speaker said, "Once you go on stage, you never stop being afraid. You have to change that emotion into a more positive emotion that can help you achieve the goal that you are trying to achieve." My takeaway is you'll always experience emotions, but the key to it is balance and being able to transform those emotions that are not working so well for you into emotions that do. There's duality even in your emotions. Just as there is a negative side on a scale of emotions, there's also a more positive side on the scale of emotions. The key is to stay in the middle. You can go so much on the negative side that it won't help you any. In fact, it'll just pull you down. And you can be too positive in that emotion and not use it in the correct way. Let's take the example from my story. When I look at the story now, I think about anxiety. At first, it felt a bit like fear, and then it began to feel like anxiety. However, there is a whole range of ways that you can use anxiety. For example, you can use anxiety to the point of being unhealthy, or you can use anxiety in a way that I did when I gave that speech. You can use it as a form of excitement. These emotions are pretty much the same thing. They're just expressed on two different levels. And these levels are based on your perception. If you perceive that something you're going to do is fearful, then yes, you will experience anxiety. However, if you feel that what you're getting ready to do is a positive experience, it will probably be expressed as excitement. So that's what the speaker was saying. This is true for any emotion that you may experience. If you feel like you're on the extreme side of the scale, find ways to balance that scale out. Take a little bit just from the other side to add to the side that is weighed down so heavily. Some people say some pretty bad things about some of the emotions, but what we must understand is that even though it seems like some of these emotions are not useful, all of them are very necessary. For example, let's talk about fear. Not a lot of people like to be in fear, but what you should know is that fear, exercised in the right balance, makes us aware and helps us become more cautious, keeping us safe. The same thing for anger. Not a lot of people like anger, but sometimes just the right balance of anger will make you be proactive. It will make you get up and get things going, get things started. So, with that right balance, anger can be beneficial to you, but be careful about going off the deep end. The deep end turns into rage. There is but one mind, and each individual mind are expressions of the one mind. Your emotions are a part of that expression. Use it wisely. I never knew that I was going to be able to go through with that first speech. I can say that it is definitely a memory that I won't forget. It was also a lesson learned. It taught me how to harness any fear and transform that fear into something else. In a nutshell, you're shifting your energy. That makes you an alchemist. Are you feeling emotional at times? If so, find a balance. Many people say bad things about some of the emotions, but the fact of the matter is, they are very necessary. Harness the power of your emotion to achieve the results that you desire. I love you to life. This is how you manifest on purpose.